All right, so once again, we have an equation, square root of x plus 2 equals 2x plus 1. So if we were to try to solve this algebraically, and again, it kind of talks you through this solution, we end up with we have to square both sides, so we get x plus 2 equals, and then we'd have to square 2x plus 1. When we do that, we get x plus 2 equals 4x squared plus 4x plus 1. And then we'd have to go ahead and get everything on one side, which would look like this. And then we'd have to factor. Now, we could find our two solutions. Those two solutions would be x equals 1/4 and x equals -1. Now we're going to compare that to what we get when we use the graph. So on the graph, once again, I would take the two sides of the equation. So I have 2x plus 1. I'm going to turn that into an equation by itself. And then I have square root of x plus 2. Going to turn that into an equation by itself. And then you see those two graphs to the left. Their intersection point, whatever x is at that intersection point, which is right here, it's kind of hard to see. Let me use blue here. That intersection point, whatever our x value is going to be our solution. So what we get is just x equals 0.25, which is 1/4. Now, that contradicts what we found when we solved it algebraically. And the reason for that is that when we're solving an equation, especially one that starts out with a radical in it, we need to make sure we check our solution. So if I check that -1, if I plug it into my original equation, -1 plus 2 equals 2 times -1 plus 1, I'm going to get the square root of 1 equals -2 plus 1. That's 1 equals -1, and I hope that we can see that that is not true. So it's not actually a solution to our equation. So solving it algebraically, we just have to make sure we check our answers. Solving it graphically, we would also want to make sure that there's not another solution on this graph by maybe zooming out a little bit, but I think we can tell from the behavior of the two graphs that that will be the only place that they're going to intersect.